Episode 13. It begins again. Many years have passed since Cyclops met his fate. Onward he ventured, marching to the drum and its beats. He did not despair, nor did he hesitate. The winsome warrior prevailed in his feats, defeating his foe and freeing the world from hate. Alas, it was for nothing that he battled and fought, to the death and by design on a dare. Now the time has come for his heir to trek that same path the seafaring strong man tread. Grounded in goodness with grace upon his shoulder, the heir's name is spoken with reverence upon the deck. Wearing a Kevlar helmet on his head, his boldness is braver and his age is older than the father he loved and admired. Having that same single sight of a seer, Raymond, so aptly named for his father's vision, looks into the glass of his monocular scope. He sights for the sight of his goal and to sight a promise of revenge for his father's demise. O goddess of my ancient father, hear my plea that you know my needs in my heart as it beats and bleeds. I ask for your blessing and protection as I venture in vengeance and correction. I will right the wrongs and steady the sails. I must defend the truth and restore the land, mired and burning in the anarchist wails. A shimmering glow in the sky above opens and becomes a cloud in a cloudless sky. A voice speaks loudly to him with love, booming like thunder without any lightning. It must have lasted an hour or so.
Your quest has been set from long ago, 24 years before you were born. It is a matter of fate once again, and not for vengeance forlorn, that you must travel to a faraway land. There you must go and make a stand. Forgive and forget, I always say.
A murmur is heard from a distance away, as the elder heir's crew has begun to sway in favor of their leader and his quest. Truth be told and truth be said, I'd rather go there than be retired or dead. A rumbling and rolling rallies the men as they prepare themselves to hear more.
Oh well, if you insist.
As the cloud disappears in the cloudless sky and all becomes again normal to the eye, the light that was once a shimmer faded out to blue, and in an instant glimmer, the heir and his army are cast ashore. Like old Saint Nick, Raymond looks at the list and laughs lightly as he reads the roll. Buford the boisterous in his bulwark of muscles, lifting his weight in some of another. Simon the shooter gleans his smile as he pinpoints the spot where he will sit. Fearless Farouk covers his hands and his face with gunner's gloves and a balaclava. Neither are for his protection, but it is his style. Killer Kate, the calamitous lady, laces up her boots and body armor bravely. Angelic Gabriel, the youngest among them, wipes his eye-pro clean and sheathes his sharpened kukri. The one among them called priest, his first name Emmanuel, moves quietly in the misty morning air, one by one to each of them, and softly speaks a silent prayer. The oldest at 36, Raymond beams with delight, determining they are dutiful in their perfection of their preparation. They are born of purpose and determination to retake what was taken in a debacle of bait and switch tactics. The voting of the dead, the voting of the non-resident, the multiple counting of those who already voted, and the non-accounting of those who did. The war not yet fought, they will fight and never forget what wrong the wretched evil of socio-communism has wrought in their cherished land of liberty. In the shallow swamp still swims the snakes, evil-tongued, tail-licking liars, and the heartless haters of true democracy. Even now they revel in a tainted victory and struggle with the task of replacing responsible liberty with lawlessness, lewd, and lascivious anarchy. The desperation of their criminality has blinded them with the senselessness of their actions. With deafness, the Democrats determine a deleterious course along a perilous path of perversion. Raymond's team will fight the scourge of humanity, those socio-communistic Democrats who truly are the agents of Satan and led by the Antichrist of anarchy. How can such a simple SEAL team of 1 and 6 ever hope to heap upon the fires of hell the vast number of these villains so vile, led by the Dark Queen, who plots destruction? Though they may be 7 in their number, they are 6 following 1 in the fight. The judges of jurisprudence and jurists of justice will determine the path with patience and perseverance. The land of the lost and found should not fight among themselves, but without the 7, there will be the scourge of uncivil war. It is true that in a fiendish fight several years ago, a group of fiendish foes opposing freedom and religious liberty plotted a plan in the mind of Satan's pawns to crash and burn down to the ground the 2 towers of commerce and capitalism. The response of a nation and a world as a whole was such that the pawn was vanquished to a prison of his own making until another flight crashed in the yard of his yearning for freedom. The freedom another such SEAL team gave this evil agent of the devil itself, who was not long-lasting, and Satan raised up another to be the beast, and is placed among the free and the brave. Yes, it is true that Lucifer gave up his own to one of his own for the sake of raising another to replace him. The followers of Satan and his minions merely pave the way for the next, as he himself decays and wastes away while his voice diminishes in hatefulness. His blackness is more than skin deep, and the approaching dark winter is his design. Now back to our troop of travelers as they travail in the task of trekking onward beneath the starry night. There are no owls, snakes, or eyes that they fear. These were vanquished by the former end legend. They have nothing to fear, not even fear itself. What is our plan for this operation? The sharpshooting Simon inquires of his master. With 3 stripes up and 3 rockers down, the diamond point compass leads the way to their objective and the goal of their mission. He pauses a moment and gathers them close in dual purpose rest and review. In the sand and with rocks he draws the scene for their assault and its tactics. Each of them learns and confirms the role of each member and how they should share their skills in skirmishes and clashes along the way. This point is a rally, another one here. 3 of you left and 3 of you right. We form a V in a phalanx of might. As soldiers of light, we travel by night, hiding in the shadows of twilight. The task laid ahead and the path made known, the squad of fighters strikes out on its own. Separated by distance and staggered at length, the spread they make becomes their strength. With quick launches and steps without sounds, the small armed and armored army bounds. From a wedge to an overwatch they shift at will, becoming a file as needed, then wide on a hill. Each one of them carries his own weight in weapons and ammo from toe to height, a burden they yearn to shed in the firefight ahead. This has been It Begins Again. Be sure to subscribe or follow for notifications of new releases. Thank you for listening. I am Michael.